Hello, my name is Lisa, aka Pass Prosecco Please. I already run a blog over at passproseccoplease.co.uk, and I have wanted to start vlogging for a while, but I've been too nervous to do it, to be honest. It is quite scary sitting here and you being able to see me and all the crap in my kitchen behind me. A little bit about me. I started my blog back in December 2016, so it has been running, what's that, about 6 months, 7 months. I basically write about anything that comes into my head, which is anything about parenting. I do talk quite a lot about my issues with mental health. I suffer from depression. I will sit here quite happily and tell you I've had depression for years, and it sort of comes and goes. So I like to talk about that and try and break the stigma that just because, you know, on the outside I've got my shit together, on the inside, you know, things like that. I do swear quite a lot, so if you don't like swearing, I try and keep it to that, you know, the fairly good swear words and not, you know, C-bombs and things like that, but sometimes they do slip out, but I try my best and I'll try and be a good girl and not swear too much. So I started my blog because I have had quite a few different bits of counselling, some good, some bad, but it was suggested to me by a therapist that it might be a good idea to write a diary, keep a diary about how I was feeling, and work through my issues from there. I say a lot because you can tell I'm quite nervous. There's something quite scary about the fact that I'm literally not talking to anybody, but people are going to watch this. Normally it's easy to hide behind a keyboard, isn't it, when you're writing a blog post and you can revise it 700 times, take out your spelling mistakes, change what you're saying, whereas this is literally talking into a camera, like laying myself out here, you know, whatever. Oh look, you can see my rubbish bag. Oh, can't get my hand around the right way. There we go, rubbish bag. There, not good. You can hear in the background my little boy laughing. I refer to him on my blog as the small person or the man cub, but I'll be quite honest, his name is William. It's a common name, it's not like it's a rare name, so I refer to him as whatever comes into my head. Normally it's a little shit, but I do call him the man cub when I write. It just seems to be the way it flows. William is 2.5. We are well into the terrible twos, and I think we have been probably since he was about 18 months old. He's a pretty good boy for the most part, but we do have our struggles, as I think that's parenting, isn't it? It's the best job in the world, but it's also the hardest job in the world. I am married. We are coming up to our second wedding anniversary. My husband is called Ben. When I write about him, I call him the hubbo, hubs, bitch tits. Sometimes I do call him that. He hasn't actually got bitch tits, I just call him that. We're very affectionate towards each other. We call ourselves some really nice names, probably quite a lot of that I shouldn't really talk about on here. We have a cat. He was our fur baby. We've had him about 3 years. His name is Mr. Pierre. Not the name that we gave him, that's the name he came with because he was a rescue cat. You will never see him because we never see him because he's pretty much feral, to be fair. So yeah, so I am 32. I live in Kent. Today the sun is shining, which is a good thing. And yeah, on my blog I talk about parenting, I talk about my depression, I talk about just a bit of everything really. I do like cooking, and I love food. That's a whole other subject, we won't get onto that because you don't really want to hear me putting myself down for the next however many minutes, but I do a lot of cooking. Cooking is a huge passion of mine, and I am trying to get more recipes into my blog. Vlogging is quite a nice way to do that, thinking about it. I can probably take some videos, pictures of my recipes and put them on here. I what was I going to say? I've forgotten what I was going to say. So, yeah, my name is Lisa. I'm 32. I live in Kent. Sound like I'm on a dating programme. You can hear the small person in the background chattering away. He's quite happy eating some chocolate covered rice bar that I've just bribed him with to try and keep him quiet for the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes so I can get this done. So yeah, I've been writing a blog for 6 months. I love writing. I always have done. I've always been a bit of a geek in respect to computers and writing. I've always written short stories, and that is my goal eventually, to maybe publish a short story or a collection of short stories. I have quite a bad sense of humour. Obviously I think I'm funny because, you know, that's what you do. That sounded really terrible, but I tell a lot of crap jokes. I like to talk about, there we go, as you can see him there. I like to talk about anything really. I like to keep it real. So I always think that on social media, especially Instagram, Facebook and things like that, it is very easy for people to put across the, you know, a one side of parenting and not the bad sides. Because let's face it, there are bad sides to parenting and there's bad sides to life, but especially parenting. You know, you think you are going to have this amazing pregnancy and you're going to glow, and all the weight that you're going to gain is just going to be baby weight, and then you are miraculously going to walk to the hospital one day, pop a baby out, and then live happily ever after. And it wasn't really the case for me. I'm not saying it isn't the same for everybody, so any mummies that haven't had any babies yet, don't read this and be put off. But, you know, for me, my journey was a little bit different. My journey, there we go, I said it. I hate the word journey because it makes me think of, like, you know, on the X Factor, when they will say, right, and this is my journey and this is part of my big journey, and they play some shit 90s boy band song like Backstreet Boys, things like that. So yeah, we had quite the journey to get to where we are today. I have polycystic ovary syndrome and what is believed to be endometriosis. So we were deemed infertile. We thought we couldn't have any children. We had started fertility treatment, and then in March 2014 I found out there was a 7-week-old little baby bean in my belly, and from there kind of started quite a difficult pregnancy and birth and year following that. I've mentioned that I've suffered depression for a long time, but it really manifested after I had my son into quite a nasty postnatal depression. It wasn't easy, to be honest. Our first year was really hard, but the one thing I would say is I'm here now, 2.5 years down the line. He's going to turn 3 this year. My baby's getting so old, and we have a really strong bond. He is definitely a mummy's boy. He is the love of my life, and I am of his, and it's really nice to, you know, a good has come from all of that. And all I would say is it has made me stronger, but, you know, I'll talk about that in more detail as time goes on. So yeah, that's me. This is my first vlog, my first video. I hope you have enjoyed listening to me wittering on. In my head, can't quite understand why anybody would want to watch this, but apparently it's what the kids do these days, and this is, you know, the way to take your blog forward and another channel for getting stuff out. So thank you very much for watching. I will post another video later on today. I have been tagged by Cheryl, aka Mummy of 5 Miracles, to do some hashtag that I can't actually remember, sorry Cheryl. But yeah, I'm gonna try and work out what I'm doing with this whole video thing, and then I am going to upload that, and then from there we will see what happens. I may not only ever do 1 video, may only ever do 2 videos, but you can't knock it till you've tried it, have you? And I'll be honest, it's quite nice talking. I do like talking. As you've probably noticed, I talk one hell of a lot. I also have a lisp, so I'm finding it really hard to watch myself on the screen in front of me, because I'm really anxious of the fact that I can see myself lisping. and the only time that ever really comes out is when I'm drunk or when I'm nervous. Since becoming a parent, let's face it, I don't get drunk that often anymore. So yeah, this is me. Thank you very much for watching. I will put my blog links and my social media links underneath this video, down here somewhere. Click follow, share, do whatever you do, and I will see you later. Thank you. Bye.